like I say, it's mow season ready, or I'll trade it for a good little John boat, something like Anderson guns or something of that nature. And my son has also, he's got I'll give you my number on lawnmower.
Wildcats have rallied for a run on the Alex Franklin single. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch ripped to the gap, and Oak Ridge is gonna win. Oak Ridge wins. Oak Ridge wins. Oak Ridge wins. Pandemonium on Bobby Hopkins Field. A gap shot by Caden Black, scoring Eli Baldwin, and the Wildcats win the ball game by a final score of 4-3. Welcome to Covering the Bases, the Oak Ridge High School Baseball Show. Coach, what an exciting moment that was last night in the ball game against Central, a walk-off win. And I know we have a lot of other highlights from the other games, but let's start and talk about that one to begin with. I mean, it was a district win. You know, I spoke after the game how important it was in terms of the district, but how exciting was it to be down on the field when that happened?
Well, it was awesome. I mean, anytime you get a walk-off win like that, those are always exciting times, especially for our kids. I mean, it's, you know, we get ourselves in a hole, but then you find ways to overcome, and all those moments that you're talking about, all the adversity that you hit, and then all of a sudden everything plays out just the way that you kind of had it going, and then Hayden gets a big hit, walks it off. Man, it's just a great time. And those are really these are the moments that these kids will remember forever. Those walk-off wins are always the ones I always remember. That's the ones that still today, that when me and my buddies from high school or college get together, we still talk about the time that we came back and walked it off in the last inning. I mean, it's great memories, and it's obviously exciting for us. And you're right, it was a huge moment in a swinging game, you know, to kind of put us up there at the top of the league where we want to be, keep moving into each week, and next week we got Pal, so it's a great opportunity for us.
Coach, you brought 2 of your seniors with you, and they were very instrumental in part of that comeback last night.
Well,
Chandler, if you'll switch over to them. On the left, that is Eli Baldwin. He is a senior member, and that's Eddie Tan, also a senior. I think Eli scored the winning run, did you not?
He did.
Yeah, I did.
And we'll start with Eddie, because Eddie, you got a hit to lead off that inning, if I remember correctly. Talk about your memories from last night.
My memories from, I don't know, I kind of draw a blank after Caden hit that double, but going up the bat, I was just, telling myself I'm not getting out. I'm hitting a single up the middle. I'm not trying to do too much, and that's just what happened. And I think Izzy came in, stole second, and then we got another hit. We just kept. It was just a whole team effort towards the end right there, honestly.
Yeah, after Izzy got the second, Alex Franklin knocked him in for the first run, and that tied the game at 3.
That's right. So then Alex, once again, another big hit. I mean, how many big hits has he got over the last 2 weeks? He's got big hit after big hit. So he then evened it up. And then, it's funny, I kind of, for whatever reason, I told him before we started that inning, I said, all we got to try to do is we're going to have an opportunity here to win it with Slay or Caden. And guess what? Both of those had a chance to walk it off right there with the 3-3 tie with the runner in scoring position. And Caden got the job done. It was awesome.
We're going to show some highlights in a minute, but I'm going to ask Eli. You'll hand the mic to. Your base running out there was an adventure on that really particular. I mean, we'll see the highlights on that. I think they tried to pick you off, and you were way off the bag there, and he threw it, and it went past, and you stayed put there on first forever. I thought, go. Talk about your part.
All right, so he threw the pitch, of course, and I was reading the ball, and it looked like it was going to bounce before he got to the catcher, so I was thinking I was going to go, but then I realized he was going to catch it before it made it to the ground. So that's when I shut it down and started to go back, and I saw the catcher looking at me, and I was like waiting to see if he was going to throw it immediately, because if he threw it immediately, I probably would have been out, but I don't know. He hesitated, and I made it back, and then I heard yell and look up, and I see the ball over in right field, and I got up and went to second.
Okay, when you scored the winning run, talk about that.
I mean, that was exciting.
It was bang bang at third too on your steal there too. It was bang bang.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw the ball bounce out of the catcher's mitt and roll off to the sides just a little bit, and played a little aggressive. Went and took third. I watched my foot go right under the tag at third.
Yeah, I've watched the video too. I mean, the throw beat you for sure, but then he missed the tag. So so you were safe, but it was close. It was,
too close, really.
Yeah.
Too close for comfort for sure. But Eli, we worked on that today. We settling him in his role, figuring out what we're doing, and getting him on there. And really, I don't really want to put that all on Eli. That's on us as a coaching staff too. That way, he kind of got himself in a bad spot when you squared a bunt. You don't see the bunt down. He got himself hung out to dry there a little bit. So then we worked on that today. We addressed that at practice. Now he's got a good understanding of what he's doing. And then, we got to be aggressive. And as well, every week we talk about the aggressiveness on the bases. And I think we stole every base this week without getting thrown out one time that I can remember. As far as, I don't think we got caught stealing once.
Okay.
I don't remember. Now, I may be wrong. I may have missed one, but I don't think we did.
I think Izzy got caught once.
Did he?
Yeah. We won't show it on the
Okay.
highlights here. But let's go ahead and start back. We'll come back and we'll see highlights from last night's ball game. Let's go back to last week. First game after the show last week was the Maryville game. And go ahead, Chandler, if you want to go ahead. And not a whole lot of highlights in this one. It kind of started out rough for you guys. You fell behind early. I think 2 home runs in the first 2 batters, I believe.
Yeah, we definitely gave up. The first pitch of the game was a home run, which is a controversial call. Still, we all believe that we all think it was foul, but, neither here nor there. That kind of set the tone for the day. And then that guy hitting right there, number one, he actually backside home run the third pitch of the game. So within 3 pitches of the game, we were down. We were for sure down 2-0. And then we kind of got it. Then we gave up another run there. We kind of lost our way a little bit. And then the next thing you know, we cut into it 3-1, then we go back out and we just walked too many guys, just too many things that we didn't do right that night. But you know what that did? That opened our eyes that we weren't maybe as good as we thought we were, and we had to get back to the basics a little bit, and we have done that over the last couple of days. And then the next night, they just keep hitting Caden for some reason.
How many times has he been hit?
I don't know. That's a bunch. It keeps getting him hit in the same place too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, he is up in the box a bit, but he's not right up against the plate.
He closes himself down. His swing, he kind of closes front side down, get his front side, meaning his front foot, closest to the, he'll step in towards the batter's box and towards the plate a little bit, and that does get him in a little bit of trouble. And that's what sometimes I think they get him on a ball that's a little bit in off the plate. He's right there on it. But after this game, this was not a good night, and we didn't have many highlights our way.
No.
But we kind of settled in a little bit later and made some pitches, but it was well out of hand. They out-hit us. No, there's no question. They played a better game than we did. We didn't. But it also opened our eyes to get back to some basics. We've done a much better job as a team. Is that 3 times? Did he get hit 3 times again?
No, I think it's started over.
Okay.
Chandler, if you go ahead and play the South Doyle highlights.
So then the next night, the great thing about this is we gave up 4 runs in 1 inning. We get down 4-0 right out of the gate early after a tough loss the night before, our first loss of the season. And we get down 4-0 on some fluke plays. If you remember any of those, a ball hit off the bag and jumped over Tyler's shoulder. A ball hit 3 times on the chalk. There's Caden getting hit again. 3 times on the chalk going down the line, a bloop single. Next thing you know, it's 4-0. But then we got it. We came back in and we got it 4-1 right out of the gate. Maybe right here we score our first run. Yep, there's our first run of the game. So we cut it 4-1. We go back out, and then John threw the whole game here, just incredible. Just gave up those 4 runs in the first inning, and then he was lights out from that point. He didn't give up another run, so we held him at 4, and then the next thing you know, we ended up scoring 7 unanswered runs to take and win it. So, big piece, here we go. Eddie hits one off, and I think we get a run on that one, and we just kind of start closing the gap. Each inning, we get a little closer and a little closer and a little closer. Next thing you know, we take the lead, and we take the win. Here's another run. So good team effort. Gave us a chance. We got really back to some basics this day before practice. We had a good conversation about getting some things right. Next thing you know, here we are, and it paid off. And then that kind of snowballed a little bit into the next week. We played a good game even on Monday against Central. I know we're going to talk about that in a minute, but we played a good game there. Some fluke things. We played Central 5 times since I've been here, and every single one of them have been decided by 1 run outside of that one on Monday night. So it's kind of a anomaly, is that right? Or
right, that's good. That's
word
correct.
so
yeah.
It's just not always a tough opponent.
Yeah, you've had 2 really good pitching performances where your pitcher has gone all 7 innings, and last night with Tyler Pickens and John, all 7. Did you ever think about taking him out, John, in this game?
No, yes, I did, didn't I? Went out there to take him out, actually, and his whole team said, don't take him out, Coach, let him finish it. I think he had thrown 6 2/3. He was right at the 100 pitch mark. He's like 97 pitches. I don't like to go really that deep that early in the year in the second week, but everybody and himself included says, Coach, you got to let me finish this thing. And so I did, and lo and behold, he threw 1 pitch, and they flew out to left field. It's a great play right here by Caden. Great double play turn right there. It was a really good opportunity. Great play by both of them. But John, once again, just settle in there. No all-week contacts. Right there it is, game winner. I just tried to take him out the one before that, the pitch before that. But it was a great team effort once again. I mean, pitching performance was great. We defended well. We kept finding ways to score. And all of our offense, we came through and scored 7. That's the key. Anytime that we kind of get in that 7, 8, 9 range, we've been having really good success this year.
Coach, and then you went to Central on Monday. Chandler, if you'll roll Central 1 here, and this was at Tommy Shumpert Park.
Here we are, lead off, Caden leading off the game. They try to pick him off. He goes 1st to 3rd early. We hop out to a 2-0 lead. I feel really good about where we're at and the things we're doing, and just, struggled a little bit to get them out. Just once again, I'll say it now to get out of the way, but we've had 2 losses so far this year, and in both losses we've had double-digit free bases, meaning we've either walked, hit by pitch, or made an error. And in this game right here on Monday, really the difference in this game is we gave them 11 free bags, and their offense, if you give them 11 free bags, they're going to eventually turn that into runs. And when that's the case, we were playing catch up, I feel like, all night, every time. We hop out to a 2-0 lead right here. Eddie hits this. We score on this play, I think. Yep, we do. We score right here. 2-0. And then we go right back out and give up 3 in the first. I think this is it right here. No, it was a good play by Mikey.
Yeah.
Nice play by Mikey. But we gave up 3 runs in that inning on 3 big hits, extra base hits, double play to end the first inning. It's 3-2 at the end of this point. Good turn there by Caden Slay. Jacob getting some ground balls here. Just struggled to find the strike zone. Just really the ball was not not at his best, and we're going to get him back out there tomorrow in some capacity, get him back into a rhythm. Mikey had a great night this night. Little freshman was able to hold his own against two of the best arms I think that we've seen this year, honestly. Both of these guys are in the mid-80s, super competitive, good guys. We were able to hold our own. He was able to hold his own on that. Tyler had a great night too. I think Tyler had 3 hits and Mikey had 3 hits in this game here. So it was a great night on for sure.
Like I said to you after the ball game, you know, if you score 6 runs, most of the time you're going to win.
Especially against two pitchers of that caliber. Some tough calls, tough breaks. Umpire was not at his best that night, and Coach Free was not at his best either. So
I heard you tell him that too, actually.
Yeah, I probably did tell him he was not at his best, and I kind of lost my cool there, and that may have hurt us a little bit. But I kept feeling like, you know, they were fine. We kept battling back, even though we were having some things really go against us, and I probably needed to hold it together a little better. So self-reflect, big hit by Alex right here. I think this ties it up right here, if I'm not mistaken.
And this is
gets us back even.
Brother Jacob scoring.
Yep, gets us back even. Shoot, that would had to about break his index finger there. He was safe right there, wasn't he?
I thought he was.
Man, see, there's one. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. That's a bad look on me. But Mikey just too many walks, but he also, man, they weren't getting hits off of him. I think he only gave up 2 hits. He just, one of those stolen bases. Is that Caden? Or is that Izzy? Mikey gets a big hit right here. I think this makes it 7-6, actually, 7-6. So we're down 1 here in the 7-6 in the 6th inning. So it's a really tight game in the 6th. Then Mikey's pitch count really getting up too high. Go to Cam right here. I think Mikey was at 85. So we go to Cam, another freshman, just try to get them. And, you know, they got to get the experience in these moments. And I've got to keep running them out there. And whether they're ready for it or not, I've got to get them ready for it. Come May, I'm going to need both of them to step up there and get outs. And so they're going to get better and better in that moment right there. Even though we took a loss, that made us better. Them having to pitch in those moments definitely made us better.
So, Coach, let's go ahead and roll the highlights from last night. We've seen some of them, but this is the last night.
Last night, great game, man. Great atmosphere, great fan base. Had a lot of people out there. A lot of first-time people at the ballpark that I've ever seen at the game starting to show up out there to watch us play. You know, people are starting to understand what we're doing and how we're doing and having success. And I'm sure we'll have a chance to talk about some of the cool stories that I keep hearing around that these kids don't even know about people from the 70s and 60s showing up to the ballpark that haven't been here in 50-plus years to come. But Tyler, there's about 4 names tonight that were incredible. Tyler Pickens, number 1. Without his performance last night, we have no chance to win the game. He was incredible. I think he gave up 2 or 3 hits. I think he only gave up 1 earned run. And so Tyler just kept actually, we got better as the night went on. We just kept getting better. He kept getting better. Our pitch sequence together, me and him, for the first time all year, I felt like we were in unison. He wasn't hesitant about what I was calling. Every pitch he threw was just getting better and better. And, man, he was super guy. And I was going to run him back out there in the 8th. If we went 3-3, I was going back. I was going back to him because I knew that he had the hot hand. And weak contact all night. Our defense played well. I know there's one error on there that, you know, the catcher's arm, Kai's arm, got hit by the runner when they scored there late. But, you know, neither here nor there. I don't really call that an error, but that was the only one. I mean, you see all these plays. Caden had a good game. We made a bunch of plays on the infield, weak hits, fly balls, everything, and no hard contacts all night long, I don't feel like. See, another pop-up foul.
I like to throw your defense in there. A lot of times, you know, especially with a one-camera operation, it's hard to get all the good plays.
Well, that's what really this whole game was about, right? Yeah. Wasn't it pitching?
Right.
This lefty, I'm going to tell you what, man, he held us in check all night. I didn't see anything crazy fancy, but if you look at every game that he's pitched in, it's been tight, and he's held the offense down. So, another stolen base here, big stolen base by Izzy. I don't know, was that late? I don't even know when that is. Once again, Tyler just keeps carving them up on the outside right there. Just we're locating that pitch exactly where we want it, off the plate, right off the plate. Another weak contact out to the outfield. And it's really all about a great team effort. It was a 2-1 game the whole way, I feel like. And, you know, just another one. There you go. Here goes Caden. Another great play. Another weak contact off the hands. Everything. Just he had complete control of everything. Maybe this is it right here. Eddie hits a laser up the middle to get start it. Yep, this is in the 7th. Eddie gets a big knock right there to get us going. All I told him in the let's get behind each other. Let's get a leadoff on. And what's Eddie do? Come up there and laces a base hit up there. Fake bunt steal. They throw in the dirt. We take the base. He's running for Eddie right there after a big hit. This is the 7th. This is when we kind of walk it off. Alex, another huge hit, base hit. Here comes Izzy around to score. So there we go.
Tied.
Tie game, 3-3. Then from this point, we go fake. Oh, there's Eli. Oh, baby. Oh, he threw it into the sun is what happened right there. And then Eli, he can't tell what's going on at this point. Then he gets there. Good. Caden's big hit, I think. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Oh, boy. Safe. He was safe.
He was safe.
He didn't touch him. And then Caden, base hit, walk off.
And you, even the series was Central, and it's crazy out there.
It is crazy. That's what it's all about, though, man. That's so fun. And then Caden just trying to find a way to get safe. And then he gets
and
face
then he
planted.
gets trucked.
Somebody trucked him. I'm sure it probably had to be Pickens. I'm sure it had to be Pickens at that point. He loves contact.
Who was doing the water bottles, guys? Who was?
Better saw that on the Final Four.
I can see this water flashing.
We saw that when that Arkansas coach taking his shirt off and screaming.
So you're all about, I mean, you know, baseball is a serious game to you, but it's also about having fun, especially at the high school level. And that was fun for everybody involved last night.
Everybody. I mean, we had students coming in the dugout, jumping up and down. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's great for our community. It's great for the people to come watch. I mean, it's exciting, man. It gives me chill bumps. I love it when things go together like I kind of plan them in my mind and then they execute it. That's why I love it.
You probably couldn't hear them, but right in front of me to the right, there was a bunch of football guys out there, and they were just constantly on the Central players. And, you know, we've had some students following in the past, but nothing like I've seen the last 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I wanted to say. With this show, with our social media that we've kind of pulled through at the school level has really turned that up. I've had more people come to me and talk to me about the game, students at the school that I don't even know who they are, I've never had them or what. They want to talk about the game and how you did last night, Coach. We've been doing that. And then another 2 cool stories. One, we were just talking about one before. You know, Gary Jones played in 1973. He's out the field. He said, Coach, I haven't watched a baseball game or been out here in for years, you know. And then there's another guy that comes out there and sits and watches us at practice. And I introduced myself. He said, I played here in 1969.
Wow.
I lived in California for 50 years. I moved back. The first place I wanted to go is I wanted to come back. At the game the other night, a guy with the last name McKinney, I may be wrong, he graduated in 1974. He lives in Chattanooga, and him and his friend that played in 74 was the first baseman. They linked up on LinkedIn. They said, man, we got to go back and see what's going on at Oak Ridge. They came to the game last night. They haven't been back in over 30, 40 years. They haven't been back, and they keep showing up. So all the things that we're doing and all the little things that we're doing is getting out there, and people are starting to talk about baseball. Everybody talks about football and basketball here because they've always won all the time, and it's a great tradition. Now people are starting to talk about our baseball community, so that means what we're trying to do is right, and people are starting to recognize the things that we're doing, and that's awesome. I love it.
I was talking to Joey Weston last night about the Central teams of the past. I mean, probably before your time when Todd Helton was playing for them, and Bud Bales was their coach. They were the team.
Yeah.
And before Farragut was good, it was Central.
Yeah.
That was good, and that's why, to me, I mean, I wish we could play Farragut again. We played him several. In fact, I think we've won 2 out of the last 3 times we've played Farragut.
Really?
Honestly, but I enjoy playing Central. They're not the Central of the Todd Helton. They had 3 professional players on one team.
Yeah,
Bubba Trammell. Yeah, and then
Todd Hilton.
And a guy named Freeman, who pitched in the minor leagues, too.
Okay.
Never made it to the majors. But it was a big, important district win last night. Because if you, like I told you last night, and obviously you know this, if you get swept, that's a tiebreaker issue when it comes down to the seeding of the tournament and such. So that was a really big win.
Well, I don't think people understand either, and I don't want to discredit anybody that we still have yet to play, but I'm telling you, like, Central's pitching staff is the best man for man in our league outside of ours. Like, everything that I knew coming back, I knew that they were going to be really hard because they play the small game. They're going to keep the score tight. It's never going to be a big, 10-6 is a huge run-scoring game with that group. They always keep it small. They play the small game. They're well coached. They defend well. All those things. It's a hard matchup for us because it's kind of who we are a little bit. They bunt it, we run. But really, if you look at it, man for man, we're pretty similar. We're going to pitch it well, we're going to defend it well, and we're going to find ways to score the 1 or 2 runs that we have to do. So it's a hard matchup for us, but I tell you what, Coach Roberts over at Central does a phenomenal job. Like, as far as a baseball coach that we go against year by year, that's what I was telling our coaching staff, he's one of the best to have their guys ready to play. And they're going to really compete, and they'll be right there at the top at the end. I really believe that.
Coach, let me ask the guys something here. I know, Eddie, you came from Hardin Valley Academy, which different district, had to compete with the Farragut's and the Maribels, and coming over here. I asked Tyler this last week about, I was asking why he came. I'm not going to necessarily ask you that, but tell me in a nice way the difference between the two programs and why, if you like here better. I don't know if that's the best way to phrase it, but I mean, what about Oak Ridge do you like so far? That's the way I should have asked you.
It feels more of like a family here, if that makes sense. It's more like, I guess the word cozy, if that makes sense. I know it's like a weird word, but like, it's kind of like people like want you here, if that makes sense. Like they actually like invest their time in you, and like the people are a lot different. They're a lot more like social, and it's just like a chiller atmosphere, if that makes sense.
Okay, Eli, I'm going to ask you a question in a moment. I'm going to come back to Coach real quick. That's got to make you feel pretty good that he considers basically the team as a family and the community as such.
Well, Tyler and him answered the question the exact same.
Mm-hmm, they did.
And the reason why they do that is they came from a situation that I'll say myself and our coaches, we made Tyler and Eddie feel welcome from the beginning because we want this place to be somewhere where all players want to come play. And we also want to take care of them, and we also want to help them move to the next level, and we also want them to come back and give back to the Oak Ridge baseball community. And we hope that, like I see it, that Tyler and Eddie now at this point, I don't care where they're at that point, they're Oak Ridge family to me for life. Mm-hmm. So I hope that Eddie comes back every day when he's down, he's going to play at the next level, and he's going to do some things, and I know some things are going to go his way, and he's going to come back and tell us about it. And he's going to go out there to Hardin Valley, and he's going to tell all those people about it too. So then, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just trying to build that community that, like, this is the place where you want to be, and we're going to make you welcome. We're going to coach you hard, and we're going to make you better at the end. So I'm glad that Tyler and Eddie, unsolicited, said the exact same thing, and that's what I want them to believe. I want them to know that they're welcome, and we love them here.
Eli, you've been in the program a lot longer, obviously, and so you've been a part of it really from, most of your high school career. Talk about what it means to you to be on this team and see the success the program's having.
I joined late my freshman year, and I don't know, I got one of my friends at the time asked me if I wanted to come try out late because I missed the original tryouts for my freshman year because I had I can't remember if it was a dislocated shoulder or a broken arm. It was one of the two. I was like, all right, I'll come try out, whatever. And, I made the team. And that first year, I remember a lot of the seniors that were on that team. One's back with us now, DB. And, I remember looking up to him as a freshman, the little time I had with him. And now he's back in the coaching staff and helping us out every day. And
that would be Donovan Black, by the way. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody knows him as DB.
Yeah.
And then, freshman year got cut short. And then ever since then, it's just been, I don't know. I've been close with really everybody on the team since then. I can probably tell you about almost anyone who's been on the team since then. It's just, I mean, even graduated people that I still know, I'm still like in good touch with and close with just because of the program and how close we've all been with each other.
You know, after our break, I'm going to ask you some other questions, but I'm going to ask you this right now, both of you. Your roles are both, you have different roles on the team, and how hard is it for a senior really to accept a role, or is it not? I mean, it's got your role is different from Eddie's, obviously. How do you embrace that role?
I like what I do.
Yeah.
I like base running. It's just kind of one of those things. It's my way of helping the team out. It's what I can do to help the team get wins, do what I can do, and just got to do the best I can at it.
Yeah, I didn't phrase that the way I really wanted to, but what I wanted basically him to say that anything to help the team, and that seems to be the people I speak to. That's kind of what they all say. Yeah. That is accepting your roles, and that's very important to a team.
Well, it's also building a culture that it's okay, and it's part of it. And I've tried to do this is the hardest year I've ever had to do. Like for people like Eli and all, there's so many of them in this circle. And I got to plug them in and help and find what's best for there. And Coach Maddox raves about Eli. He's like, Eli is the guy that we got to keep finding ways to get on the bases all the time. He raves about it. And then Coach Dove raves about Izzy and what they bring to our team. Like last night, I want people to understand, and I want Eli to hear this too. I almost told him this. Without Eli and Izzy last night, we don't win. And yeah, they weren't maybe in the starting lineup to start the game, but without those two, we do not win that game last night. So I think that they need to understand, and our baseball community needs to understand, it's not always, Eddie got a big hit to lead us off. Yeah, he did. And yeah, Caden got a big hit to win it. Those are two big pieces of it. But all the stuff that happened in the middle without Eli and Izzy, we're not in that situation. So his role is kind of growing, and he's kind of embracing it. And he's getting better at it, and now he's focused on the attention to detail. So guess what's going to happen? We're going to get better and better and better, and it's going to allow us to do more things on offense. And so, he may not be in the starting nine, but I promise you he's been on the field every single game.
Eddie, your role is probably different from the way it has been in previous years because of injury. You've been primarily as a designated hitter. I haven't seen you in the field much at all, if at all. To be honest with you. So your role probably has changed for you, and how have you adapted to that? I know. Why don't you explain your injury and why it's different?
It was a bad injury, surprisingly bad. When it first happened, I didn't think it was going to be all this and that, and then when I figured out that's almost a full rotator surgery, it's just hard. I couldn't play baseball for 7.5 months almost, or something like that, and it's been hard. I've been working towards it. You know what I mean? I've been doing everything I can, or trying to at least. And I don't know. It's not hard. Some days you wake up and my arm is just shot. It just hurts. It's sore. It's just gotta ice it as much as I can. And it's tough.
So you've had to deal. It was the same with Jacob Franklin too, because he had surgery in the off season too. So you've got two key parts of your team that you have to be careful with because of
correct.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, which is unfortunate for Eddie, but we're still very lucky to have him. We're fortunate to get that, and he had I don't know, people don't understand, he had a complete rotator cuff from front to back, reconstructive. He slid in third base. I don't know, when was it, Eddie? May, June?
It was beginning of June.
Beginning of June, right? And his summer circuit out there, slid in third base, completely tore it. So he's had complete reconstructive surgery, and he's just now getting closer. We've played him in 3 games in the field, but he's still fighting it every single day. And it's a 12-month plus recovery. It's really going to take him a while to get back to full strength, but that's not stopping what his role is. Yes, his role has changed from what he's accustomed to. Yes, he's had to find ways to keep his body active and engaged in that, and he's getting better and better at it. And I'm trying to find ways to keep getting him in and out of there to keep his skills fresh. So when he does get the next chance at the next level or whatever that may be, he's going to be ready to go. So, but yeah, it's been hard for him early to kind of find his groove.
Coach, we're going to take a break. Guys, we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back and talk more with you guys about you guys, what you do, what you like, and such. So just covering the bases, the Oak Ridge High School Baseball Show. The Wildcats' next ball game is tomorrow, 6 o'clock against Pigeon Forge at Bobby Hopkins Field. Then Friday, the Wildcats will be traveling to Maryville, take on the Maryville Rebels in another ball game just about a week removed from the first one. Going to send it back to Chandler. We'll be back to talk with Eli Baldwin and Eddie Tan and Coach Free in a moment.
Everything we do is in search of more go. If it can withstand 0 degrees, can it go -20? If it can run through 5 inches of water per hour, can it go to 6? We go. So it goes. So you can go. It's hard to stop a train.
Fox Insurance Group is a local agency. We've got a great staff. We're knowledgeable. The most rewarding thing about working in insurance is taking care of customers. When they come in, a lot of times they don't know what coverages they need. They're relying on us to give them the right coverage that's going to fit their needs, but also at a competitive price. Anybody can go to any agent or they can call any 1-800 number. But getting that right agent that's going to take care of them and be there in time of need, and that's what we're here to do.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop. Because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
Train extreme conditions testing. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling.
Welcome back to Covering the Bases, the Oak Ridge High School Baseball Show here on BBB Channel 12. We've been talking about a pretty solid week of baseball this last week. Wins over Central and South Doyle, and getting ready for another 2-game stretch. Then Powell next week in the district. Powell always tough. Got a couple seniors with me and with Coach Free as well. And guys, I know you've watched the show, and it's kind of me getting to know you a little bit better. And people out there wondering why I'm asking some of the questions I'm asking, but it just kind of interests me sometimes. But I'll ask some easy questions first. Eddie, you got the mic first. Why did you choose baseball as your sport?
Man, as long as I can remember, I was like, I don't even know how old I was when I started, probably like 6 or 7. I don't know. I just always liked the sport. It's a great sport.
Did you ever play any other sports besides baseball?
Yeah, I played football sophomore year, and I was just done. I was like, actually, I played 8th grade year too, and not my cup of tea, I guess. I mean, it's a cool sport. I mean, I like the sport. I wasn't bad at it either, but I've always played baseball. It's just what I know. So.
Same question, Eli.
I've played baseball since since T-ball, and I don't know. I played it from like T-ball probably to like middle school age rec league, and then I just like completely stopped playing baseball probably around 6th grade probably, and then I got back into it freshman year.
Coach, why did you choose baseball as your sport?
Because it's a smart man's game.
Okay, that was one of my questions I'm going to ask you
It's a smart
later.
man's game. That's why I do it.
Guys, I see, Eli, you got the mic. What are your strengths as a player as you see yourself?
That's kind of. I don't really know, to be honest.
Coach, what are Eli's strengths as a player?
Instincts, intelligence, understands the game and what his goal is, what his purpose is, and and he's really good at that. He's kind of defined that and made him who he was. But he's really smart, great student. He's a learner. He's a yes sir. He does all the things that we ask him to do. So that's his strengths for sure.
Eddie, what's your strength as a player?
I'd love to say my arm, but that is. But I could, like, bat speed for sure. I got pretty high bat speed, I would think, and I'm decently quick. I wasn't as fast as I used to be, but I can get up there.
Coach, same question.
Pretty good. Bat speed's incredible. Like, it's probably the best on the team. I think everybody would say that Eddie's got the best bat speed on the team. Exit velocity, pop off the bat. Baseball instincts, has a high IQ of the game, knows it probably too high. Sometimes I think he overthinks it a little bit, would be his weakness. But I'm figuring that out about him, so now I've kind of figured out ways to help him out. We had a good conversation going into his last at bat, so I'd like to say that I'm hitting about 1,000 this year. I told him that he was going to hit a line drive bullet to get us started, so I felt good about that. But is his more about Eddie, high IQ, high exit velo, great bat speed, great human being.
So, Eddie, what is the hardest part about playing baseball? What is the hardest thing about playing baseball? What is, a lot of people think that baseball is easy. Throw ball, hit ball, run.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What, as a baseball guy, what's the hardest part?
All three of those.
Yeah, all three of them, exactly. Besides the physical aspect, it's definitely the mental aspect. It's a hard mental game on you. Like, especially for me, when I tore my rotator and everything, it became mentally even worse for me. Like, it was a mental struggle for a while, and I don't know. I'm just glad to even be playing. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the mental side is hard. Even without an injury, you still got to come up there and think you're the best player of all time.
That's what you told me last night, actually. Yeah. So, Eli, kind of like that question, but when people come up and tell you that baseball is boring, what do you say to them?
They don't really understand it. I mean, I think it's. I think it makes it more entertaining if you know what's always going on, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't find baseball boring.
Right. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't play it. That's the way I look at it. Coach, hardest part in your mind about being a baseball player and playing the game?
Well, it's different for me now as a coach it is, but now I've learned by coaching for 20-plus years that the hardest part of this game is the mental pressure it puts on you and how it's, you competing by yourself every day but also performing as a team. And, I mean, I spend more time, honestly, I'm a shrink more than a baseball coach throughout the course of a game and throughout the course of a week. I've got to push these buttons, talk to these people in this way. How do I handle Eddie? How do I handle Eli? How do I handle Slay, Caden, you name it, Pickens? I've got to deal with all them different, so I'm just like juggling all these Richie, let's talk about that. That's like juggling three balls in itself over on one side. So it's always constantly, how do I keep these things in check to get us moving in a positive direction? And I'm still trying to find my way. Like, we're still trying to find our identity on offense. I'm still trying to figure out how to push their buttons the right way. So to me, it is definitely the mental side that's the hardest.
So you got the mic. Do you watch baseball, or do you watch, like, you have a favorite team, a hero, or somebody you like to emulate, or favorite player growing up?
Yeah, I watch more college baseball than anything.
Okay.
But growing up, my favorite baseball player was probably Chipper Jones for the Braves.
Okay.
I don't know, just always liked Chipper.
Okay. Same question to you, Eddie.
Yeah, I watch baseball a lot. Whether it be on my phone or whatever, I'm always watching something. I'm always watching, I wouldn't say I have a favorite team. I mean, my dad's a big Red Sox fan, but I like watching the players, how different players respond to the game and how they play it and how they swing it. And I'm more of a player's guy, if that makes sense. I wouldn't say I have a favorite player, but, I just like watching it.
I've kind of enjoyed the last couple shows we've had because the players have actually liked baseball. Last year,
Yeah.
it seemed like everybody that I interviewed just like, I just play it. I mean, that was kind of the answers.
Everybody asked me what the difference is. I said, well, I'm gonna be honest. The biggest difference that I see, we've got a team full of baseball junkies. Like they really are. Like they actually love the game and love to watch the game. We can talk about the game. We talk about other teams. That, they understand it a little bit better. So it's kind of neat.
Let's see who's got the mic. Eddie. So if you were condemned to die, what would you choose as your last meal?
My last meal? Man, give me a nice steak. It's gotta be that perfect steak. You know what I mean? If I'm on my deathbed, even if I couldn't eat it, I'll just gonna look at it or something. Like a nice steak would be good. Maybe some broccoli and like some fries, something like that.
Same question, Eli.
I'm taking crab legs and a shrimp boil. Oh yeah, and then you gotta have the butter sauce too. It makes it so much better. Did you pick steak?
Surf and turf.
Yeah. So if you guys were to host a party and could invite 3 famous people to that party, who would they be?
Bro, what are you doing? Why are you handing it to me, you weirdo? All right. 3 famous people?
Yeah.
Right,
Living or dead?
We gotta bring Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
I feel like he's gotta be at like every party of all time. Man, who else? Man? I feel like
Bring a Snoop Dogg. You got to have Dre.
I was thinking either Dre or I was thinking like some Biggie. And we'll go one more. We'll go. Bro, you said dude, you're weird. I want to go someone from like that's like popular now. I'm gonna go with like Matthew McConaughey or something.
Who?
Matthew McConaughey, something like that.
That's
Okay.
fun.
Same question, Eli.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Probably. I'm gonna go more like of this time. I think I'm gonna have to throw in maybe some maybe some like Michael B. Jordan, Drake.
I was thinking Drake.
Yeah, Drake, and I don't know, maybe a third.
Chipper.
I'd have to go with. I'm gonna throw Donald Trump in there. Yeah. You know.
Coach, go ahead. Yes. Same question, you, Coach.
3 famous people. You keep out. I got to switch it up this week. I like their list though.
Yeah.
I feel I'm with Eddie. Like Snoop Dogg and Dre got to be at any party you're going to throw. Let's think about 3. Let's go different. Last time I went leaders. Let's go 3. 3 players. My 3 favorite of all time. I'd like to talk to Derek Jeter.
Okay.
I'd like to talk to Chipper. And let's go back even further than that. Let's go. You know who I really liked back in the day? Coach Dove will be proud of me here. Me and Coach Dove always used to have a thing for Ryan Sandberg. Remember that when I used to watch
Cubs.
WJN for the
Yeah.
Cubs?
Yeah.
Ryan Sandberg was kind of my first infielder that I liked to watch. And Sean Dunston. Because WGN was on TV every time
Right,
he used to come
right.
home from school. So I used to watch those 2 all the time in the middle. Those are 2 of my favorites. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't want to, Eli and Coach, I do have some interactions with Chipper, and he's not the most friendly guy.
Okay.
But only because he gets hounded so much.
That's
I
right.
mean, seriously, like when we shuttle him quickly to where he goes
Yeah.
because he gets just
Yeah.
hounded by pictures and everything.
Well,
But
if Snoop Dogg and Dre were there, maybe it'd be a different scenario, wouldn't it? Maybe Eddie. I'm just kidding. I agree with you.
what is the most memorable interaction you've had with an umpire?
Does it have to be like you were like there? The interaction was with you?
No,
Or-
you can answer it any way you
Okay.
want.
Last year, it would have been.
I won't ask you this one.
I don't know. It was with Bryson Parks, the that umpire that got on to Bryson.
Oh yeah, for letting the ball hit him a couple times.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most memorable things. I've never heard an umpire get that mad at a baseball moment happening.
Eddie?
That's a good question. That is a pretty good question. Most memorable? It's got to be something like way back when I'm playing Carnes Little League, something like that. Like some of our, just like one of the umpires. I couldn't even remember his name, but everyone knew him. He was just back there chilling. And he was just a cool dude, if that makes sense. Like, you'd always just talk to him. Like, he wouldn't care about nothing. Oh, no, I know what it is. Oh, my gosh. All right, so this was, like, probably, like, 11 years old.
Okay.
Something like that. This umpire, big dude, massive dude. He covered everything, but I think he just gave up at that point, and he was calling everything a strike. Like, I swear you could have thrown it to the woods or something, and he would have called it a strike. I couldn't tell you his name.
That's probably good.
But yeah, he just completely gave up on everything, and I was like, whatever, dude. So.
Coach, I don't want you to get fined unless you want. Yeah, so we'll just pass that.
No comment.
So, if there was such thing as a time machine, Eddie, would you go forward or backwards? Where would you go, and why?
Forward or backwards? I'd probably go. Wait. Well, that's an interesting question. I'll probably go backwards. If I knew what I knew now, I probably would have never slid in the third.
That makes sense.
But you know, that's. I'd probably go backwards at some point.
Why or where?
Why and where?
In your life, or I mean, you could go back to the Civil War if you wanted to. I mean, just as far back. Where would you go?
Go back and transfer here freshman year.
Okay, that's a good answer. Eli, same question.
I think I'd definitely go back in time, and I think I would go back maybe like probably like 80s or 90s. I don't know. I just think it would have been
way back then.
Way back.
No, I just think it would have been like cool to be like a teenager in that time. I don't know. It just like I don't know. Like you see Karate Kid, it just seems like that time would have been cool. I don't know.
Pretty cool.
I was about to say, Coach,
It was pretty cool. That's right.
were you
That's
a cool guy in the 80s?
Yeah, I was. And 90s.
Eli, when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Ooh. I remember in preschool we did a thing and you like filled out a sheet. I remember putting down firefighter.
Okay.
But I know that's like the most basic thing, but that's what I remember putting down.
Firefighter.
I guess.
Same with you, Eddie. Same question.
I always put down baseball. That doesn't even matter. I always put down something for baseball. So that's about it. Something
Coach,
simple.
did you want to be something other than a coach when you were younger?
You know,
You wanted to be an astronaut?
I think I probably, who knows when I was in preschool, but ever since I can remember high school, I always knew that I was going to be in the game some way forever. I was never going to leave it. So I don't know. It's hard for me to think past that. I'm sure when I was a kid, like, Maddox and Eli in preschool, I was probably firefighter, police officer, MLB baseball player.
Eddie said astronaut a minute ago.
Not an astronaut. Not an astronaut. I wouldn't have been an astronaut. Maybe a pilot, though. I like heights. I like kind of that thrill, maybe.
I want to jump off a cliff.
So, what are you afraid of, Eddie? Are you afraid? Do you have any phobias or
Nothing. I'm just kidding. I'm going to go, any phobias? I mean, that should be for anyone. If you're staying on top of like a high building and you're just looking down, yeah, you can have fun with that. Like, when you drag a chalkboard and like you make that screeching noise? I hate that. That's not what I'm scared of, but
you don't like it?
Yeah, I don't like it. Maybe like a grizzly bear or something if you see it in the woods. I don't know, something like that.
Those are good ones, Eli.
I'm scared of heights too. I don't do heights. And snakes. I'm terrified of snakes. Hate snakes.
Do you have the typical baseball superstitions where you don't step on the line and all that?
Yeah.
Eddie, same with you? Who on the team would make, as a player, who would make the best coach in the future?
Richie Ferreira. I'm just kidding. No. Honestly, probably Caden or Frankie. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of a hard question.
Good coach. So I'm trying to think here. Who would be a good coach? Jason could have a shot, but we're talking a great coach, a good coach. I mean, anybody could be a coach, you know. If we're talking good, that's a steep hill.
Anybody can be a coach.
But a good one, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Who would it be? Maybe Tyler. Maybe. But Tyler is also just like ruthless. He just kind of doesn't come at it the right way. If that makes sense. Frankie, possibly Frankie. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm gonna go with coach. Same question.
I got two guys in my mind, Frankie, and then people that nobody would know. Cam Welch would be the best coach of all of them, I think. He sees the game different than everybody else does. He can talk. He's analytical. He watches it. He knows and understands the reasons as to why a lot. Some other guys just kind of play. Caden.
It's unusual for a freshman.
Caden, I don't think he sees the game that way. I don't think he sees it on that side. But he could be successful at it if he wanted, because I think he'd be good at anything. But I think Frankie's good. Frankie's analytical. He understands the why and how to do, and so does Cam.
So, do you all want to continue to play sports beyond high school?
Yeah, 100%.
What's obviously baseball. I mean,
yeah.
Eli?
I mean, I'll probably play like intramurals in college.
What do you want to do, like as a profession?
I've been looking into like sports management and just like business in general. I mean, I think it would be cool to do something along with sports management, staying close to sports, specifically baseball or basketball, one of the two. But
Eddie, same goals for the future?
Yeah, I definitely want to play baseball in college. Obviously, it's been harder since my arm, but I mean, I still want to do it and keep chasing after something. You know, I've been wanting for a long time, and see how it pans out.
After baseball?
After baseball?
Yeah.
It's never happened. We're gonna go with. I don't know. I feel like I'd have to figure that out in college. Honestly, start like messing with things. Probably something around the business line. I'm like, surprisingly, I'm actually not bad with numbers. You know, some people think I'm dumb as rocks, but you know, I'm actually not too bad with numbers. So.
Let me ask you a 15-second question. Favorite memory so far this year as a Wildcat?
Oh, come on. That's got to be the walk-off, especially playing. I mean, definitely that. I mean, football season wasn't bad, but this definitely tops it off. Like, during the football season was cool. Couple big games we played there. When we blocked that field goal to win, beat Campbell County or whoever. That was a big game. McMinn, that's what it was, yeah. That was a big game. And, but the walk-off is definitely by far
Eli,
the
real
best
quick.
so far.
of this year,
Yeah.
probably the walk-off, same. Basically the same exact thing as Eddie. Football was fun. Basketball was fun. Dude.
Any shout-outs you want to make before we close?
Yes, I got one. What camera is it?
This one.
This one. It's my grandpa's birthday today. I don't know if he's watching or not, but happy birthday. I'm going to come over and I'll see you later. So I'll just shout out to him.
Eli?
Rich Cap-a-lot.
Guys, thanks a lot for joining us here, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Coach, your final comments from the last 30 seconds here.
Well, once again, just thanks to everybody for all they've done, Broke Ridge Baseball and these guys and you guys and all the people that are a part of it, because I think we're growing our brand, and I'm excited to be a part of it and come out and check a game, man. It's April. The weather's going to be nice.
Next game is tomorrow, 6 o'clock against Pigeon Forge. Until next week, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.